Cardi said coronavirus shit is getting real, you heard? I mean, welcome back, y'all, to Hot Shot Radio with your boy Hot Shot. Yo, shit out here is real crazy right now in these streets, man. In the world, fucking these streets. Shit is crazy in the world. But yeah, we coming back to the show with a topic that I'm really passionate about. You know what I mean? Like I've expressed myself before and I've told y'all there's a lot of shit I don't like talking about, but there's a lot of shit that I do like talking about. And this is one of them. New World Order, world awareness, all that shit. I'm pretty much into talking about. Um, but you guys love to listen to celebrity gossip, so I'll give y'all what y'all want to hear, and pretty much that's why a lot of my content is talking about that celebrity gossip bullshit. Just to answer somebody's question the other day when they left some dumbass comment on one of my videos. Yeah, I talk about what most of you or a lot of you want to listen to. You feel me? Because if I talked about the ideas and the agendas and the corruption around the world and shit like that, that a lot of people don't want to hear or scared to talk about because they scared to face the truth, then y'all classify me as being crazy or some other shit. I mean, because there's a lot of sheeple out there that just listen to everything they hear. And yeah, it's alright to listen to a little celebrity gossip and entertain yourself with the bullshit and the drama and all that. But instead of spending so much time on that, take a little time off to think what's going on around you and around the world, and how could you improve, you know what I mean, or benefit the world so that the next generation can have a better place to live in than you did, meaning your kids. You know what I mean, a lot of people don't think about that. A lot of people selfish, first of all, which is why this damn coronavirus is spreading so fast because motherfuckers ain't washing their hands properly. Or, yo, you know what I seen a lot of motherfuckers do, first of all? They got gloves on, right? So they got gloves on and they touching everything. They touching doorknobs, they touching handles, railings. I mean, they touching everything. They phone rings, they pick up the phone, boom. Now they touching their phone. Next thing you know, they put their phone on their face. Guess where the fuck that coronavirus going? To your mouth. I mean, like that shit's going in your body. So you got a lot of motherfuckers using gloves, but they ain't using them properly, so they still spreading the shit. This is why the shit's spreading so fast. I mean, think about it. We had about 5,000 cases just the other day in New York City. That's where I'm at. I'm in New York City, which is the epicenter of this whole fucking coronavirus in the U.S. But I'm taking care of myself. I'm washing my hands, putting my gloves, got my mask, got my hand sanitizer, got my Lysol wipes, got my fucking Lysol spray, all that shit. So I'm well equipped, know what I mean? Like I'm taking care of myself, but you got other motherfuckers that ain't. So you could be taking care of yourself, and next thing you know, you working with somebody or you live with somebody that ain't taking care of themselves, and now you got that shit, and who knows who else got that shit that was around you. You feel me? So one thing I want to tell everybody, not just people in New York, I want to tell everybody that's watching, everybody around the world, yo, really protect yourself. If you touch something with them gloves, make sure you got another pair and another pair of gloves to replace those gloves with. You know what I mean? Because those gloves is contaminated. If you ain't got another pair of gloves, then yo, wash them motherfucking gloves with hot water, warm water, and some soap, whatever, and treat them motherfucking gloves like they your hands. You know what I mean? Wash them shits thoroughly before you touch your face or before you touch anybody. Also, be careful when you're going food shopping. I've been seeing so many videos. Another video I saw was people and kids coughing on the food, on the fruits and vegetables in the supermarkets. They just coughing on the shit, saying they had the virus. So be careful when you buying shit outside, man. Make sure you wash everything thoroughly. Know what I mean, like wash your fruits and vegetables. I mean, I always wash my shit, but y'all got an extra wash, especially people that never wash their shit. Wash your shit thoroughly. I'm not saying rinse, I'm saying wash. I mean, a lot of people don't know the difference, but yeah, take precautions because motherfuckers are spreading that shit too fast. Overnight, that shit's growing 10 and 15,000 cases of people being infected in New York City alone. You feel me? Like, death toll is rising. You gonna wait for these motherfuckers to bring in a martial law or a curfew or a lockdown, you feel me? Or a new world order before y'all start taking precautions. I mean, like, listen, if you gotta fucking quarantine yourself for a little bit in your crib, stay in your crib and quarantine yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't gonna die because you stood home a few days. As long as you safe, you good. You feel me? As long as nobody in there is infected, you good. But a lot of motherfuckers don't know how to do that shit. So that's why I'm here today to tell y'all motherfuckers to stay safe, stay clean, stay disinfected, stay in the fucking crib, and stop spreading this motherfucking virus so that niggas can get back to their normal lives and go back to work, go back to school. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that you got a lot of single parents in the crib right now getting sick of their kids because they ain't got the father there to help them out with the kids. It's just them and the kids. They ain't got no babysitter. They ain't got no way to really come downstairs and get food. A babysitter's not even working if they had one. Feel me? Everybody's home. Everything's closing. Only thing open right now is supermarkets and gas stations. And I feel like soon that's going to be closed too. See, a lot of people don't know how serious things are right now. They feel like, this shit ain't nothing. This is just a little flu, a little cold. I will get over it. They exaggerating on the news. They making it seem bigger than what it is. All right, look, whatever it is, man, it's something. Something's going on. So why not be safe than sorry? Why not better be safe than sorry? Something's going on. You don't know. I may not know. But let's just be safe. I mean, let's be cautious. Fuck celebrity news right now. I mean, to each his own if you want to still report on it. But right now, this is what's important. Celebrities is good. They in their bunkers with massive food, chilling in their mansions. Got their whole family locked down with them. Everybody good. They got food, money, whatever they need. You feel me? Like, they good. We got to worry about us collectively. You know what I mean? As a whole. Minorities, the poor, the hood. We got to worry about each other. We got to figure this shit out on our own because we're just numbers. I mean, we're just numbers. So your government ain't really worried about the low numbers. They worried about the high numbers. I mean, matter of fact, before I keep going, one of the reasons why I like talking about these topics is because I believe in a lot of shit that a lot of people don't believe in. I mean, and I never do videos on it because of that, because motherfuckers ain't interested. They ain't trying to be woke and they ain't trying to believe. I mean, I always tell people, yo, don't believe me. Do your own research. But they talking about one of the first people that found the virus or found out about the virus was this man, this doctor in China. And I just wanted to play this for y'all real quick so y'all could get an idea of what I'm talking about.
Matter of days, Dr. Li Wenliang went from treating patients to becoming one. The 34-year-old ophthalmologist diagnosed Saturday with the Wuhan coronavirus. But if action had been taken when he and others started sounding alarms, the severity of the outbreak might have been understood sooner. Struggling to communicate, Li spoke with CNN briefly by phone. You can hear the hospital machines pulsing in the background. It was back in late December when Li first warned friends on WeChat about a SARS-like disease going around. Li sent a group message saying that a test result from a patient quarantined at the hospital where he worked showed a patient had a coronavirus. But hours after hitting send, Wuhan city health officials tracked Li down, questioning where he got the information. Within days, they closed the suspected source of the virus, this seafood market, and they announced the outbreak. But instead of being praised, Li got a call from Wuhan City Police. With Li coughing too much and breathing too poorly to speak by phone, we asked Li by text, "How did you feel when this happened? I felt a little afraid I would be detained, afraid my family would worry, Li responded. He agreed to sign this document, admitting to spreading rumors online and severely disrupting social order. It reads, "We want you to cooperate with the police and listen to our reminder and stop the illegal act. Can you do that?" Li answered, "Yes, I can." In the weeks that followed, the Wuhan Municipal Health Commission maintained that there was no obvious evidence for human-to-human transmission, no infection of healthcare workers, and that the outbreak was, in their words, preventable and controllable. And with that, the people of Wuhan continued about their normal lives. Then came a sudden jump in infections. China's central government took over, scrambling to contain a spreading virus with a rising death toll. Chinese state media first reported that Li was one of several whistleblowers silenced by police. Calls for Li and the others to be vindicated grew online. China's Supreme Court even weighed in, adding, quote, "It might have been a fortunate thing if the public had listened to this rumor at the time." But for many, including Li and his parents, it was too late. They all contracted the coronavirus. Li is now fighting for his life, alone in quarantine, but online, considered a hero. Tens of thousands praising his attempts to sound the alarm, ahead of what's become a global health emergency. After the Chinese Supreme Court made those comments in support of Li and the other whistleblowers, we did hear from Wuhan police. They released a statement essentially saying, look, the whistleblowers weren't fined and they weren't detained. They were simply questioned and let go. Now, we did also reach out, CNN did, to Wuhan police as well as the local health commission. Allison, they declined to comment.
So yeah, that doctor in China was one of the first people to discover this disease, this virus, and he was being called fake. They were saying it was a hoax, all kinds of shit to tear his claims down. Brought him into the precinct, questioned him. The man ended up getting sick. He died, and I feel like there's some kind of cover up. There's some shit that they ain't telling us. Something's under the table within the Chinese government, the U.S. government. Something's not being spoken about. Why the fuck did it take so long for this to be aired or televised throughout the world? This is a world concern, a global concern. Why did it take so long for this shit to be aired and it was just being dismissed as a hoax and false claims? Something's not being said, you feel me? Like something's not being revealed. So yeah, I need everybody to do critical thinking. Think for yourselves, man, and try to figure this shit out. What's going on around the world? Why the fuck they ain't shut down airlines? Now I mean, coming from China way before, months before when they first heard about this shit. Why the fuck niggas was still traveling to China, coming back to the US with the shit? You know what I mean? Like, why was Trump saying the shit was a hoax when it really wasn't? Why was he saying the shit wasn't that serious when it really was? We're prepared for this when we're really not. We missing about 100,000 hospital beds right now across the US. You know what I mean? Like, we missing about 100 to 150,000 hospital beds across the US. Fuck those numbers. Matter of fact, these are my numbers right now. The ones I gave you is the media numbers, but fuck them numbers. I feel like we missing millions of hospital beds. You know what I mean? Because we got billions of people in the US. We got billions of people around the world. US only got about 165,000 ICU beds. So what the fuck happens? What happens then if half the population in the US was to get sick at the same time and go to the emergency room? What was to happen? How is our government going to respond to all this shit? First of all, they ain't even got the space for half the population in all the hospitals across the US. They ain't even got the space. Right now, half the population ain't infected, allegedly, or quote unquote. They're not infected, and we still don't have the fucking space in the hospitals. Could you imagine if half the population in the US alone, we're not even talking about globally, we're just talking about the US alone, gets infected? How are we going to treat these people? They saying, if you don't show symptoms, stay home. Quarantine yourself. Take care of yourself. So what if you thinking, oh yeah, I got, let's say for example, somebody tests positive for the virus and you think, oh, I'm not showing symptoms. I'm gonna just stay home. But because you stayed home, because you thought you wasn't showing symptoms, the virus progressively got worse to the point where even if you wanted to go get help, you couldn't get it because it's already too late. And the virus got the best of your lungs. Because it's a respiratory virus. You know what I mean? Like, it shuts down your respiratory system, in other words. So what happens if you wait? Because you think you good, you ain't got no symptoms. So, all right, let me wait. Let me take my time before I go to emergency. What happens if you wait and the shit progressively gets worse and it kills you? Yo, there's just so many questions I have to this whole coronavirus outbreak bullshit. There's so many questions, there's so many concerns, there's so many unanswered theories. It's just there's a lot when it comes to this shit. There's a lot going on, and everybody who knows me knows I've been speaking about this forever, for many many years. I've been speaking about these world events, these apocalyptic events happening. I mean, now you got Donald Trump over here saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get a cure within the next couple of weeks." You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna get a cure. That cure he's talking about was said by doctors, by professional people that deal with medicine. Do not take it. We don't know what effects it's gonna have. We don't know, if it's gonna work for everybody. Certain people that got certain illnesses can't take that medicine. Yo, I'm telling you, they're just giving all kinds of misinformation out there. Be careful what information you take. It's just this is the time where they're gonna feed you the bullshit. You gotta be woke. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make sure you sense what's right and what's not. And there's a lot of shit that don't seem right, people. I need y'all to wake up. I need y'all to really pay attention in these times. We living in the beginning of the end of times. You feel me? I don't want to be jumping from topic to topic, but these all correlate. Know what I mean? It's like a domino effect with all these topics that I'm jumping into. How the fuck one of the first hospitals in China, one of the first hospitals that got quarantined with coronavirus patients collapsed? This shit just collapsed out of nowhere. What a coincidence. How the fuck this shit happen? These are some videos and some footage in China about the hospital collapse and all that. I don't know if y'all can see it. I'm gonna try to play it here for y'all, but I'm not sure if y'all can see it. Y'all can. Whole hospital's gone. Gone out of nowhere. Nobody know how this shit fell. How this shit collapsed. People died. All kinds of shit. I mean, I feel like they just wanted to get rid of a whole bunch of infected people at one shot. I mean,
这是相机电池啊！我不是随完不是，哎，不是那个孙孝伟不是下去给我拿 DV 的吗？对对。起过来，那你扛呀。好了，明白了，明白。
All right, so that's footage of, the Chinese people going through the rubble and the debris and rescuing people out of the building collapse. It's just craziness. There's a lot going on in that video. So yeah, they was taking the people out the rubble and the debris. There's a lot of questions I have for China, for the U.S., but it'll be too long of a video to ask all them questions right now. So we'll focus on this video right now, and I just want to know why they taking so long to counteract this virus. Even after so many people in Wuhan, China was getting sick, they said it was a hoax. Well, Trump said it was a hoax over here in the U.S. He could have closed. He could have been closed those airlines. Come on, man. Let's get serious, people. For some reason, this virus was meant to spread around the world, and it was meant to create the chaos it's creating. I mean, this shit is crazy. I've seen other videos where there's people in China that's been infected and released from the hospitals, going into their buildings, high-rise buildings, buildings that hold thousands of people. They go in the elevator and they spit on all the elevator buttons, so that when the next person or the next group of people get on the elevator, they touch those buttons and get infected as well. There's so much fucked up evilness and fuck shit going on right now that ain't nobody safe. Know what I mean, shouldn't there be a law against this virus by now? They building laws as we go. Shouldn't they build a law to where someone can be charged for attempted murder if they purposely spread this virus? You purposely coughing in people's faces to give them the virus. I mean, they got the law for AIDS, and this coronavirus is killing people faster than AIDS. So shouldn't there be a law for this shit too, saying that if somebody purposely give you the virus, they getting charged with attempted murder? Because this shit is killing people way faster. I mean, people with AIDS or HIV live a lifetime under medication. So shouldn't there be a law for this virus, for people that's trying to purposely spread it on some evil fuck shit? Shouldn't there be a law? It's just so many. It's so many red flags, so many questions. I'm baffled. I'm annoyed. I'm angered. I mean, I'm seeing this shit happen firsthand in New York, firsthand. And one thing I do gotta say is, the hood ain't gonna stand for no curfew, no martial law, whatever the fuck you want to call it. The hood ain't gonna stand for it. And I believe the higher ups, the elites, the government, they know this. They know at least the hood in New York City, the hoods ain't gonna stand for this lockdown. Maybe temporarily, 1 or 2 weeks, they'll be alright. But once they see a new way of life, the biggest change in world history happening right before their eyes. I mean, it already is. I just don't think enough has happened for people to really open their eyes and say, okay, something is not right. Something is changing. Everything we know, everything we know to be part of life. I mean, it's gonna take a something slightly bigger to happen, a bigger event, which is soon to take place, for that people that are asleep will realize sooner or later what really is going on around the world. Y'all, this shit is crazy. I mean, you locking people in their cribs with no money, no way to get money because there's no work. You feel me? Cities on lockdown. You you locking people in. What you think's gonna happen when these people run out of food? I mean, yeah, the supermarket's still open as of right now, but they can't go there because they ain't got no money. So What you think is gonna happen? We gonna have some purge shit happening where people gonna break into other people's homes and fighting and killing each other over food. Either that or they just gonna be breaking into the stores and the supermarkets to get the food for free. Because they ain't got the money, they ain't got the means necessary to get this food. They ain't got the income, the jobs. The world is on standstill, is on pause right now. The world is really on pause, y'all, for the first fucking time ever in life. I've seen some shit like this, and I'm sure a lot of you can say the same thing, and most of you can say the same shit. There's been similar outbreaks in the world before. We've been through world wars, but nothing like this in my lifetime have I seen. Where the whole world is on standstill, is on pause, everything's on a halt. Know what I mean, like nothing like it. This is all brand new. When will we get back to real life, to our normal lives? They say maybe until Easter, where they get a hold of this virus, stop it from spreading so fast. Even Easter to me sounds a bit far away. A month and a half. I mean, like that's a long time to be without work, to be without a social life, to be without going outside and doing your regular shopping, getting your medications. Um, you know what I'm saying? Taking the kids to the park, kids getting an education, college students getting an education. Like that seems a bit far. They saying they not sure. It could be longer. It could be to the end of the year. There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of narratives. There's a lot of stories being put out. There's a lot of assumptions. I mean, it can go either way at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like this is unheard of. I want everybody to pay close attention. I mean, whatever happened to the fucking swine flu or Ebola? Whatever happened to them shits? They came out. It was a mass hysteria like there was now. I mean, it was telling us, yo, be careful. This is a deadly virus. Out of nowhere, that shit, you ain't hear nothing else about Ebola or swine flu. It just disappeared, vanished. You feel me? Y'all gotta pay close attention. I mean, this could be one of them situations, but I doubt it will. I feel like the coronavirus is here and it's gonna stay here for a little while. So be prepared for some changes. They talking about bringing the military in, the National Guard, to make sure everybody stays home after a certain time. I feel like that's gonna be chaos. I mean, it's gonna create a civil war between the civilians, the National Guard, or the civilians, and the NYPD if they try to put curfew or martial law in New York City. It's gonna be a lot of havoc, a lot of chaos. I need everybody to really, really prepare themselves, really take care of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Disinfect your hands, get your hand sanitizers, your alcohol, your lemons, your vinegar, your bleach, your Clorox, all that shit. Get whatever you need, your gloves, your mask, all that shit that you need to protect yourselves and your family. Don't bring that shit home to your kids. Don't leave your kids outside playing with the neighbors' kids. You don't know how they taking care of themselves, and you don't know if they're gonna bring something back. A lot of people's not showing symptoms, so don't let yourself go by that. Oh, you see somebody in the street, they not sneezing, they not coughing, they good. Nah, there's people walking around out there right now with the shit, and they don't even know it because they can't tell. There's really no testing sites to go to for this shit either. This is how crazy the situation is. They're taking a Jacob Javits Center in New York and they're transforming it into a so-called hospital, but it's really a concentration camp from FEMA. FEMA is the first responders uh, in cases of natural disasters and global crisis, kind of like the one we're going through now. Um, and these people, FEMA is a whole nother topic. I mean, but it correlates with what we're talking about. FEMA, and you can see this from Google Maps. Google Maps is that app where it shows you any part of the world. You just type in an address, it zooms in, and it shows you that whole entire neighborhood in whatever part of the world is at. Right? So if you go to Google Maps, you can see millions and millions of plastic coffins sitting on the side of the road in a couple of different states. Each of these coffins is set to fit 6 human bodies in it. These coffins been sitting on the side of the road for a couple of years now, which means FEMA has been preparing for a major catastrophe, a world disaster to happen, where a lot of people's gonna lose their lives. I mean, why else would these coffins be there? These big plastic bins. It's like this hard plastic, durable. Why would they be there? Millions of them. Did they know? Were they pre-warned about something like this happening? Were they preparing ahead of time and we ain't know it? I mean, the people want to know. There's a lot going on and there's no answers. There's a lot of shit that can't be explained and the people want to know. We want answers. I mean, like I'm trying to speak and use this platform to raise awareness. And if anybody with the power to speak the higher ups um can, there's questions that need to be answered. I mean, so with that being said, yo, everybody keep an eye out. The news, the information, the updates are changing quick. I mean, they're telling us, things are gonna be locked down for a day, then a week, then 2 weeks, then a month. We really don't know how long this is gonna be on lock for, and we don't know what repercussions it's gonna bring, and we don't know how worse it's gonna get. So I say let's hope for the best and prepare for the worst. Stack up on your foods. Try to buy a lot of shit that don't expire too quick. Get a lot of canned foods. You know what I mean? Like canned milk. Get yourself some carnation milk. You know what I mean, them shits will last you a couple of months versus getting a regular milk expire in like a couple of weeks, couple of days. So yeah, just try to be strategic and smart about how you spend your bread and be wise where you spend it and just try to prepare for this, people. This is sad. If you see videos from around the world, from people in Italy and China and all that, and you see how they suffering, they ain't got no help, they ain't got enough hospital equipment, they ain't got no ICU beds, no ventilators. I mean, this is shit that we gonna need if our situation gets as bad as theirs, which is pretty much going in the same direction, and we ain't been able to stop it since or slow it down. So yeah, inform yourself. You know what I mean? Like really study what's going on. Like check these videos out from around the world, people in other countries that are dealing with the situation and the crisis and how they affected to the point where there is no help. Their whole country's on lockdown. No one's coming in, no one's going out. So even if people wanted to help them, other countries want to help them, they can't. There's no help. It's a whole is the whole country's is quarantined. So what y'all think is coming to the US? We watching everybody else to see how they handling this situation because they most you know the other most of the other countries that have it better, that have it worse than us right now, got contracted with it first. So we watching them to see how they dealing with it and what's working for them and what's not, quote unquote, allegedly. So I say prepare because we might have the same or worse situation. I mean, we're about to enter a great depression and a really big recession. I mean, our economy's down. There's no money being produced. This is big news, y'all. This is big news. I feel like it's a biological warfare. You feel me? Nowadays, technology is sick. I mean, we got technology to, wage war, and that country won't even know we waged war on them. There's speculation that we threw this virus in China, and China counteracted the virus and spread it around the world because Chinese people ain't dumb. They far from it. They one of the smartest breeds, if you ask me. Everything come from China. So if you throw some shit like the coronavirus at China, what you think they're gonna do? They gonna keep everybody else around the world busy dealing with their own civilians. Keep them busy just the same way China was busy dealing with their civilians and having to cure thousands of people. Feel me? Having to treat them, having to build hospital within days. Chinese people, these motherfuckers built hospitals within days And I'm wondering why the fuck the US can't build hospitals within days, let alone weeks. I ain't seen them build one hospital yet, but yet they talking about how slammed and how packed our hospitals is, and how we can't withhold the maximum capacity. There ain't enough hospital equipment. So why the fuck niggas ain't getting the work? Why we ain't building shit now? Since y'all foresee this coming. Y'all predict this coming. These numbers, these statistics are, you know, futuristic statistics. So why ain't we prepping for it now? I mean, come on, people. Let's wake up. Let's wake the fuck up. But yeah, I'm glad to be back with some great, content. This is my shit right here. This is what I talk about. This is what I like, what I perfect, and what I've, watched years and years of videos and documentaries on. This is where, my battlefield is, my stomping ground. So all them other YouTubers, yeah, they good at roasting and they good at all that celebrity gossip and all that shit. This is where I'm good at. You know what I mean? So I would definitely love to have debates, conversations, and opinions on this topic, this matter. I mean, it's something that we all dealing with and we all in it together. So I feel like we all need to unify. It's all about unity and cooperate with each other and help each other out best way we can. You feel me? Everybody stay safe out there. This is part one on that coronavirus. Y'all be blessed, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Here.